Hey everybody, I'm Mike, this is Moose, and today, after 5 parts, the Airfix Hornet build is nearly complete. We still have decals, a couple of coats of semi-gloss varnish to put on it, as well as doing the final touches, the final reveal, and the final score. All that's coming up next on Modeling with Mike. Alright, and we're back, and well, before we started here we had a little accident. My little brace on here that holds my camera fell off, and it hit the model at an angle, but it broke off one of the wheels, so no biggie. We could go on, we can move on and we'll get the decals put on, and we will move on after that. So let's start with the decals, shall we? We'll go, I'll hold it, we had it right. We want to go this side, front to back. We go number 7. Okay. So basically, here's your decals. Up here we have our microsaw, microset homebrews. As usual, need a good pair of tweezers, nice flat pair. Need some flat heads to it. Brush on the microset, microsaw, and some Q-tips to sop up all the excess. So first things first, we're going to put number 7 over here. We'll, come on now. We'll reattach that wheel when we're done here. And that'll go right over here, right above that little nubbin there. Okay, there is that. We will cut out number 7, and as usual we'll do about 4 or 5 on here. I don't like these. Get the other flat pair. That looks good. Oops, they're not flat, but they look like they'll work. Yep, much better. Let that set in there. 7, and then we go number 11. There's number 11. Okay, yeah, we'll only put 4 or 5 on, and then we'll show you how they look like. There's 11. Go with the microsaw. That'll go right under the cockpit. Right about there. Alright. We need microsaw after. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. Looks good. That whole thing goes above the nubbin. Yes. And there we go. Put a little microsaw on there. Let that suck it up. There we go. Now, next one is number 9. Oh my. There we go. Nice. And there. Little microsaw. There we go. Now, number 9, 11, we need 1. Good enough. We'll cut off number 1. That'll go in there. So, microsaw homebrew goes down. Whoa. Go down here. right about there, directly under number 11, where that's gonna go. And boom. Now we'll get the stars and bars out of there. There we go. Beautiful. Now, bring this bad boy over here. Get it nice and straight. There we go. Good, good. Micro saw and whoa, we're just making a mess here. Never mind the mess. Slob model maker. There we go. Nice. Now, down there, need number 6. Will be one of the Navy. And this will be our last one we do before I shut her down, just to save time. Because we have two coats of semi-gloss to put on, and a 2 coats of semi-gloss, and some touch-ups to do on this. Reattach that wheel. Lots to do still. And this one out of here. There we go. Get on there, you little pain in the butt. There we go. There's that one. Oh yeah. Whew! Get on some micro saw homebrew on that. There we go. We're gonna do, we need, the Navy part goes right down in there. There we go. The micro set. And 10. We need number 10. There's the Navy decal. Oh, no. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's try this way. Take it off of there. There we go. And put some micro saw on there. Straighten this bad boy out here. There we go. Put some micro saw on there. There we go. There. And there we go. Now, show you what we got so far. There we go. Got one behind the fuel tank there on the air intake, but not too bad so far. And we're gonna turn off the camera, and I'll finish up on here, and we'll come back and do a little touch-up work, get that wheel reattached, probably off camera, and have it ready for a couple of clear coats. So we'll be back. All right, and here we have our finished decal job. Hold it very carefully here, because, oh man, I see a couple of masks that I missed. See if we can't get them off. There's that one. There's that one. Okay. Good things that didn't bother the decaling any. So there we go. Yeah, there we go. It's looking good. Now, what we have to do is do a little bit, nothing too much, a little bit of touch-ups here and there. Get out my markers here. First of all, I need my black. done. So we'll just call that a little weathering. So there it is. Gonna turn off the camera now. Get that wheel back on, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll let this dry overnight, let the decals dry overnight. We'll be back tomorrow for a couple coats of semi-gloss and final reveal. So we'll see you then. All right, and we're back at the booth, and here are all the decals after night of drying. Most of them are along the sides. They turned out really good, I think. Not too bad at all. And yeah, so we're ready for a couple of coats of semi-gloss. We're going to use this Deco Art DuraClear. I got these at the local Meijer store. Those of you who don't know what Meijer is, it is the Midwest version of, say, Walmart, or but it's a regional store. And this stuff needs to be thinned down, definitely. It's water-based, so I'm thinning it down with water. Approximately a 1-to-1 mixture of distilled water and the semi-clear coat, and mix it up like you would to the consistency of a regular your regular gloss varnish or any other kind of varnish. So there we go. It's mixed up pretty good in there. We'll put it in here, and by the way, we're using my Gallery GHAD 68, otherwise known as the Beast. So let's see how she does. Put my mask on. We'll put the fan on, mask on, and we'll start spraying. Alright, so there's our first coat of semi-gloss. We're going to let this dry about 20 minutes. I'm going to go over now while this is drying and film the last parts of the video, and then I'll come back and do the second coat, put it in the dehydrator for about an hour, and come back and film the reveal. So that's the plan. I'm going to run to, and going to clean this out real quick. I'm just going to run a couple of cupfuls of water through it, clean it out, and yeah, we'll be back in 20 minutes. So we'll see you then. All right, and we're back, and it's been about 20 minutes, and it's dried somewhat, but we're gonna move it right along and put another coat on here, and we got another bowl full in there ready to go. So one more bowl, we'll put this in the dehydrator right after this is done, and put it in there for an hour, and we'll come back and we'll do the final kit reveal for you, and yeah, then we'll finish the video. So that's the plan. So on with the fan, on with the mask, and here we go. go. And so we'll put this right here on the plate, and we'll take it out, put it in the dehydrator. We'll be back in an hour for the final reveal. We'll put the cockpit on there, the canopy on there, of course, beforehand. So I gotta get this out there and get the dehydrator started. So we'll be back in an hour. We'll see you then. Alright, and there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the final reveal and final shots of the F-18. So let's give an overall review of it. The strengths of the kit, it went together good. It went together well. The fit was great. I didn't have much as far as gaps, and there were some seams, of course, because a lot of stuff were in two parts, and a lot of seams to take care of. But the fit was overall, it was good, great fit. The painting went great. The decals, cartograph, fantastic. The decals in Airfix kit are usually second to none. So yeah, lots of weaknesses though. Gotta remember, I'm judging this kit for what it's advertised as, what it's sold as. It's sold as a starter set. A starter set is usually somebody's first model they ever do. And as a starter set, no. Number one, the instructions many times were just vague as hell. I was confused sometimes with the instructions. I mean, really, come on. For a starter set, didn't come close. The engineering. Why, on a starter set, do you put your air intakes and have it in 3 different pieces to put together? Really? On a starter set? And the side pods, instead of 1 piece, there were 2 pieces. Let's see. There was one other thing I wanted to... Yeah, the tanks. They could have been 1 piece. They were 2 pieces. Plus, you had 2-piece pylons for them sometimes. On a starter set? Are you freaking kidding me, folks? Sad. Sad. But that being said, let's go to the final score. All important final kit score. We're going to judge it as usual into 5 different categories: detail and quality, engineering and fit, building experience, otherwise the enjoyment of it, value of the kit, and the ease of build. So for detail and quality, I gave it a 7. And by the way, these are judged, given a score of 1 to 10 on each category. Detail and quality, I gave it a 7. For a starter set, I didn't expect lots of detail. The thing that brought it down was this thing was loaded with flash, had parts that could have been molded in 1 piece or 2 pieces, and this creates a seam, of course, which just requires more work for somebody doing their first kit. Remember that while I'm talking about this. So that's the thing that brought it down, was the quality, not the detail. I didn't expect much detail in a starter set. Engineering and fit. Well, that goes hand in hand with what I just said. The fit was great. I have no problems with the fit, except for the fact that the fuselage halves were warped, so you had to just cement it together section by section and hold it together. The engineering was the big thing that knocked this down. By the way, if I didn't say it before, I gave it a 7 on engineering and fit. The engineering, this is a starter set, mind you. Remember, this is somebody's first kit, and they're having parts that could have been molded in 1 piece. They're having them molded in 2. Not only does that cost more, it's making it more difficult on the builder, which, as I've said, and let's say it again, is a first timer. You know, the air intakes on the engines is just 3 pieces when it could have very easily been 1. Really? Are you kidding me? They had, let me talk about the horizontal stabilizers. Let's talk about that for a while. They had these just plopping in. They wanted them to move up and down, and maybe they do that on the regular one, but this is a kit for a first timer. You know, they expect a first timer to try to fit this into little slots without gluing it and have it stay there while he puts the top and bottom half of the fuselage and sandwiches it in there. I don't think so. Where's your head, Airfix? Now, building experience. I actually enjoyed this. It went together well, all in all. I gave it an 8. All in all, it went together real well. I didn't really have any, pain in the butt, sections. I launched a part or 2, but big deal, we always do that. Value. I gave it an 8. If I remember right, this thing was around $10, between 10 and 15 bucks. And yeah, for what you got, you got 6 paints in there. Of course, 3 of them were worthless. A tube of glue, 2 paint brushes, and a kit. I mean, for 10 or 12 bucks. Yeah, I'll go for that. So that gets an 8. The ease of build, again, knocked it down. It's a 7. The instructions were very vague. I don't know who was doing it. It must have been a Friday, and came back from a 5 cocktail lunch or something, but for a starter set to put those instructions in is laughable. So I gave it a 7, should have given it a 6, basically. But add it all together, get 37 points, divided by 5 categories, you get average score of 7.4, which, you know, I say this every build series, but I was a teacher, so I got to give a letter grade. It's a solid C, and they're lucky it isn't a C- or D+. Just saying. So I want to thank you for following along, all of you that followed along on this series. Personal note to Justin at MK Modelworks. I'm going to send you a few pictures of the completed model for the group build. So for the rest of y'all, let me know what score you'd give this kit. Let me know it in the comment section below. As always love hearing from you. Remember that all the links and all the discount codes that relate to this channel, including the merch store, I have a link for that. All that is in the video description. Again, memberships, $1.99 a month. Right now what you get is a nice little badge by your name in the live stream chats. Working on emojis that you can use in the live stream, in your comments, plus others. And I'll have more time to work on it after this is over. If you want to join, 2 ways of doing it. There's a button on the video description. There's a button on the channel description. Either way. Let's see. Next video is going to be why your clear parts fog and how to prevent it. Something for the beginners, and you know, everybody needs a little brush up every now and then, so that's what it'll be next video. So basically that's all I got for you for this one. Y'all know what we say around here. Never stop pushing your modeling boundaries. Until next time, we'll see you later. Ciao!